Cher hired 4 men to kidnap her son on the night of his wedding anniversary.
That's a whole other level of crazy.
This seems like a conservatorship situation to me.
You know about love and pain?
Yeah.
What do you know? What do you know about love?
I love
Who do you love?
you.
Sometimes a mother's gotta do what a mother's gotta do. But this is a bit extreme.
Could Cher actually have done this?
Cher's son Elijah has gone through an ugly divorce, and now Cher is getting exposed for taking over her son's life. There is a disturbing story about Cher hiring 4 men to go into her son's hotel room and kidnap him. So let's get into it. Honestly, I did not expect to be talking about Cher today because when you think of Cher, you think of her music and her stardom, not her kidnapping her own son. Well, allegedly, that's what happened to Elijah. He was going through substance issues, and Cher thought it'd be a good idea to hire 4 men to kidnap him. The reason why we're hearing about this is because it has been taken to court, and Cher's gonna have to answer for why she would do such a thing. And I get it, sometimes when you have a family member going through substance issues, you'll do anything to save them. But let's go ahead and break it down. She had her son kidnapped from a hotel room as he was trying to make up with his wife on their wedding anniversary. So he was married and they were having issues and he wanted to make amends. There were pictures taken of her son when he was taken and kidnapped, and it does seem like he was really in a bad place. There are also reports that he was collapsing on the pavement leading up to the hotel's entrance. At this point, he had been living there for about 6 months, and he was really just struggling, living in LA, partying it up, and using drugs. Cher was actually seen going there before he was kidnapped, and she looked very worried because her son was running up the bill and probably embarrassing her and her family and just himself. There are actually witness accounts of this man passing out. One person said at first it looked like he was dead, but he was in fact passed out. The staff picked him up and took him inside.
Cher's daughter-in-law is accusing her of kidnapping her own son. This was revealed in court documents, which are part of Elijah Blue and Marie Angela King's divorce. And this supposedly happened on the night of their wedding anniversary. The wife claims that she and Ullman had committed to working on their marriage after Cher had requested she leave their family home. Ullman and King allegedly spent 12 days alone together in New York leading up to their anniversary, which is when the kidnapping happened. She says 4 people came into the hotel room, removed Ullman from the room. King claims in the filing, adding that she was told by one of the 4 men that took him that they were hired by Cher. She said she's unaware of her husband's well-being or whereabouts, and she's very concerned and worried about him. Since August of 2022, she's been told that she's not allowed to see or speak to him because he's currently in lockdown at a treatment facility that's undisclosed to her. This seems like a conservatorship situation to me because there's reports of him like falling down in front of the hotel a couple days before and being like strung out in the hotel lobby. And Cher was probably like, oh, hell no.
Elijah has this rock star father, and then his mother is Cher, so I'm sure he didn't grow up in a normal environment. And we do see a lot of children of celebrities who end up using drugs, and he's admitted that he started taking drugs when he was 11 years old and had a long battle with heroin. So let's talk about these 4 men who actually kidnapped Elijah. They claim on November 30th, 2022, the night of our wedding anniversary, 4 people came to our hotel room and removed Elijah from our room. I was told by one of the 4 men who took them that they were hired by Elijah's mother, Cher. Insiders told Daily Mail that worried hotel staff had regularly reached out to Cher due to his apparent drugged out appearance. A police vehicle was seen parked outside the hotel after they were called to remove him on September 16th.
Cher did what? Newly revealed court documents allege that Cher hired 4 men to kidnap her son on the night of his wedding anniversary. Huh? From Variety, newly revealed court documents have accused Cher of employing 4 men to forcefully remove her son Elijah Blue Allman from his New York hotel on the night of his wedding anniversary with his estranged wife. I am currently unaware of my husband's well-being or whereabouts, King wrote in December. I am very concerned and worried about him. She added, since August 2022, I have been told that I am not allowed to see or speak to Allman, who is currently in lockdown at a treatment facility that is undisclosed to me, treatment for his addiction issues. I am also told Allman has no access to his phone. Sometimes a mother's gotta do what a mother's gotta do. But this is a bit extreme.
So clearly Elijah's not in a good place. His marriage has fallen apart and he's, using drugs. Virtually every morning and afternoon, Elijah could be seen in front of the hotel on the sidewalk, either leaning against the wall or sitting on the sidewalk smoking. He would come out with a full cigarette, and by the time he finished it, he would be passed out. It always looked like he was dipped in something. He looked strung out and messy, like he was a homeless person living on the streets. Actually, in early September, Cher hired a caretaker who would sit out in the entrance of the hotel just waiting to see where and what Elijah was up to.
Could this be true? This is wild. Is this what being a boy mom means? I'm just kidding. This is insane. I don't know if I believe this. Do you guys believe this? Like, this is wild. To hire 4 men to kidnap your own son? That's a whole other level of crazy. Like, a whole other level of crazy. Could Cher actually have done this?
I do believe it. We've seen so many times on Dr. Phil, they would gather up kids from their home with a bunch of security guards to take them to these wilderness programs and put them through hell. So yeah, I mean, if they have, I guess, the money and the power, they can really do those things. And she could justify it by saying that they're going to get him help with his drug problem. And it doesn't help that she's got all the hotel staff who are so worried about him and a caretaker / spy. I mean, I would rather say spy, who's watching his every move. So she sees that there's a problem, and even though he's an adult, she has power to do what she wants and essentially kidnap him. And it seems like they have a pretty bad relationship because Cher has often gone months and even years without even speaking to her son, who she packed off to boarding school when he was just 8.
Say, are you going to do that? What are you going to play when you get big?
You're crying.
I wasn't crying. I was just singing.
Yeah.
I was singing a sad song, and so when you sing a sad song, you look like you're crying.
Did it make you laugh? Yeah. That's songs about love and pain. Do you know about love and pain?
Yeah.
What do you know? What do you know about love?
I love
Who do you love?
you.
Oh,
Pretty pretty?
Singing that, what? You were singing that sad song?
yes, I was singing a sad song.
Does Mama does she wear these clothes around the house?
You were sad?
No, I wasn't sad. I was just pretending.
It's sad because I do believe that Cher loves her son. That's why she is sticking up for him now and trying to take him to go and get help, even though it's probably not the best way to do it because it's giving very much conservatorship and really just taking away his rights. I mean, he needs to want to get help to also get better. But a lot of these celebrity children just end up going down the wrong path. I mean, he said that he was looking for an escape when he was 11 years old. He started doing marijuana and ecstasy, but he was looking for an escape in his past. And when you turn to those kind of drugs, heroin and opiates, that's what ends up happening. He said, heroin kind of saved me. If I didn't have that at that point, I don't know what I would have done. You may jump off a bridge. If you can only just go through that time and period and live through it and then get help. He admitted that there were times where he almost died. I did have some close calls and some moments of feeling really on the edge of morality. Even though Elijah was shipped off to school, he did end up working in music. And there was a point where Cher was super supportive of him, but it seems like he just had a mental health battle and he didn't know how to cope with it other than drugs.
Dude, can I have one of those?
Of course. This is Marty. He's playing sitar with us.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Man in Black.
Nice to meet you.
That's the album.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Dope, right?
Yeah.
We did
I mean,
that.
can I have one?
Of course, you can have that. We did it like 3 in the morning, at this fan's house that we saw online, and that was kind of, you always hear about this stuff that's great happening like last minute, 3 in the morning, some fan's house.
Looks great, looks great.
Yeah,
looks
we
great.
managed.
It's so sad to see how drugs can take over someone's life. And I believe he married his wife in 2013 and they ended up splitting up. And we're learning about this through some court documents that have been filed. And each of them are kind of defending themselves as far as the end of their marriage. And it looks like she's looking for spousal support, which would mean, I guess, that Cher's going to pay her off. Kind of like how Britney Spears has to pay Sam Asghari some spousal support, even though he wasn't much of a spouse. His ex-wife does claim that Cher had kicked her out of the house where she was living with Elijah after he went into treatment. She claims that she lost her housing and her health care and had to leave the country to stay with relatives. She also claims that she wasn't able to retrieve all of the belongings from their home or an opportunity to look at their assets. These documents were filed months ago, but we're finally getting them because the proceedings in their divorce are coming to an end.
Cher is denying accusations that she allegedly hired, quote, 4 people to remove her son Elijah Blue Almond from his New York hotel room on his wedding anniversary with his estranged wife, Marie Angela King. When Access Hollywood reached out to the Grammy winners team for comment on the claims, her rep slammed the accusation, saying there is, quote, no truth to this. The next court date is scheduled for October 27th.
So I'm sure Cher isn't too happy that she's getting wrapped up in all of this, but it's just a part of life. So hopefully this guy, Elijah, gets better and gets on track and everything gets figured out, because it doesn't sound like a happy situation. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.